Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and your viewership. So about a week ago, depending on when I'm publishing this video, I actually shot a video called Top 5 Best Summer Fragrances from Navitus Parfums. And this is actually one of the ones that I mentioned in that video. And so being as though it's starting to get really warm outside, I want to give you my in-detail thoughts and in-depth thoughts on Verve Matin by Navitus Parfums. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Verve Matin by Navitus Parfums, and I tell you all about this fragrance, what it smells like, how long it lasts, how it performs, so on and so forth, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. And while you're at it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So I actually helped to launch the brand Navitus Parfums. I have a lot of equity in the brand. Of course, I released the original 7 fragrances. I was the sole creative director of those. And of course, with this one, Buck from the channel Big Beard Business is a creative director. And he released 5 fragrances. They are all part of the Enamored collection. So we have Exalt Nuit, this one, Elation. We have, of course, this one is Verve Matin. We have Idola and Soir Exclusif, which you can actually see here behind me. A beautiful gourmand fragrance with these sort of creamy, nutty aspects. Well, today we're talking about Verve Matin. This one has laurel, clary sage, a ton of citrus. It has even cinnamon and myrrh in the base, which really makes it unique. And of course, the perfumer for this one is Bertrand Duchaufour, who is based out of Paris, France. He's one of my favorite perfumers of all time, has done fragrances like Jubilation 25 by Amouage, Sartorial by Penhaligon's, Incense Avignon by Comme des Garçons. The list goes on. And so I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance. Let's start things off with the presentation. So right in the opening, you are going to get tons of citrus. It's actually very fresh but warm at the same time. So there's a little bit of like an orangey vibe that you're going to get. And there's also a little touch of mint, which is kind of like this aromatic thing happening in the heart. And that's coming from the laurel as well as the clary sage. And clary sage is one of those ingredients that is used a lot in a lot of masculine fragrances to really freshen them up, but in an unconventional way. Now, the cool thing about this fragrance and all Navitus Parfums fragrances is that the notes are listed on the back of the card that comes inside each bottle. And so in terms of just the citrus in the top, we have Sicilian lemon, orange, bergamot, grapefruit, and regular lemon. There's also cardamom to slightly spice things up in the opening as well. And so there's a lot of natural ingredients used in tandem with synthetic ingredients in this fragrance. And of course, that very lively citrus bouquet that you get in the opening is just so inviting and so effervescent. And it really keeps you feeling fresh and refreshed for the summertime. So in the heart notes, you have the laurel that I was talking about, clary sage, juniper berry, and also a touch of saffron. Now, in my experience, saffron is used a lot in the synthesis of a leather accord. I don't necessarily get anything leathery from this perfume. I would say if this fragrance has any sort of a spicy touch, it's coming more so from the cardamom as opposed to the saffron. And so if you had that notion that, oh, is that going to darken things up, the inclusion of that saffron, it doesn't really. This fragrance actually stays fresh through and through. And of course, in the base, to really warm things up, we have the cinnamon, the myrrh, we have ambergris, musk, and driftwood as well. And of course, driftwood also helps to keep things smelling rather fresh as well. And that's also a very popular ingredient. Now, As I smell this fragrance, I am inundated in a very positive and pleasant way by all of the citrus that's used in the opening. And this is something that I've experienced before with some of Bertrand Duchafour's creations. He really knows how to create this combination of citrus that is just so unique and so inviting. But I'm also getting nuances of the cinnamon and the myrrh. And the good news is that it's sweet myrrh. And so it's more on the side of a Popinax as opposed to like a bitter myrrh, because in my experience, bitter myrrh has a bit of a rubbery smell, and that is not what I'm getting from this fragrance at all. And so, of course, a perfumer never discloses all of his or her secrets, and so they're not going to tell you all 50 plus ingredients that went into the composition of a certain fragrance, but you can sense that there's a little bit of a warmth happening in the base, and the cinnamon is just a perfect touch in addition to the cardamom and that minty sensation that you're getting from the laurel and the heart. The juniper just adds a touch of woodiness that creates a bit of a masculine appeal, but it's a perfectly unisex fragrance at the end of the day, because it is a fragrance that is dominated by citrus, and citrus is inherently unisex. And so when it comes to summertime fragrances, I really do want to mention this. I love Elation. I also love this one. Soleil Matin by Navitus Parfums is amazing. And the one that I directly worked on is Navitus, and this is made by Chris Maurice. Amazing vetiver and grapefruit. But the thing that I really enjoy about this one is that it has this unconventional spiciness with a quirky minty sensation in addition to all of that citrus and the fresh woods. And so this one is the ideal fragrance for the summertime if you're looking at getting anything from the Enamored collection. Of course, something like Exalt Nuit has 2 variations of tobacco in there. You have tobacco from Madagascar, so it's a very dark fragrance composed by Francis Kirk John, but also kind of boozy at the same time, and that's why I love it. I save that one for the winter months and I overdose on that one. But in the case of this one, you can really apply this one liberally. It's a fantastic citrus fragrance with touches of mint. If you haven't tried it, please do yourself a favor and see if you can sample this one. I know this can be sampled at a few different places, including ScentSplit, so I'm going to leave a link to that down below if you are interested in getting a sample from this fragrance. I think they carry this fragrance. I know they have Navitus Parfums. If this is not on the website, I definitely recommend that you sample Navitus in its place, but this is an awesome fragrance. Very happy to have the opportunity to speak about it on my channel. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, for a citrus-based fragrance, it's really hard to be unique, but with the inclusion of the cinnamon, the juniper, the laurel, the clary sage, the myrrh, and the driftwood, it really makes this fragrance unique, and it makes it stand out among a sea of other citrus-based fragrances. The overall smell is one of the most pleasant you'll find. You will not get anybody who takes offense to this smell, just because I'm not going to say it's on the lighter side, because it certainly isn't, but it has a very warm and friendly DNA that is going to resonate with a lot of people. In terms of the longevity, you can expect 8 hours on your skin. The projection on this one was great for the first 2 hours of application, and it did radiate beyond an arm's length. In terms of the versatility, incredibly versatile. You can dress this one up, you can dress it down. Perfectly unisex, anybody of any age can wear this one, and the price is also really good for this one as well, and so very versatile fragrance. In terms of the presentation, of course, you guys know that I had a hand in creating the presentation, and so I'm personally a fan of it, very much so, giving credit to the perfumer, the pressurized atomizer, just everything about it, the heaviness of the bottle. My final verdict on this fragrance is it's going to be one of my summer staples this year. I'm going to love wearing this one, as well as Soleil Matin, which is a fragrance where the creative director is Dallas from the channel Chaos Fragrances. I'm actually wearing that one now, and so I have my bottle off here to the side, and I saw it today and I said, you know what, I got to put a little bit of this on, and these two fragrances are going to serve me really well this summer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you took something of value from this video. If you did, remember to subscribe. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.